Welcome back to Dev Talks Podcast. Today I'm sitting down with Vicki Carr. She is running for Eastside
Alderwoman 1 year.
Eastside Alderwoman 1 year. How you doing today, Vicki?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell us a little bit. You are running for City Council. What do you see in our town? What are you going to do for us?
What do I see in this town?
Yeah.
Right now, I see a big mess.
I agree.
What I would like to do is try to iron out all of those wrinkles that's in the city.
And there is a lot of them right now.
There is a lot of them.
What do you think about I wouldn't say temperature, but the climate of, it seems like right now, citizens do not trust our elected officials.
No.
As a whole. What can we do to mend that bridge?
Well, I say we get a whole new board in, whole new everybody.
Clean house.
Clean house. You cannot focus on what is behind you because there is so much stuff that has happened. We have to start moving forward.
I agree. You know, I think, like, you know, over these past 8-9 months, you know, it's been yeah, at the beginning, you know, people enjoy, oh, look, you know, things are getting heated, but now people are tired of it.
People enjoy seeing it.
Yes.
But now they're just sick of it.
They're sick of it because our town is just, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing what's going on, what has happened, and I think it's time for us to get back on track and start pushing our city into a better direction as a whole.
I think we have no other choice.
Yes.
You need individuals who are going to work together, put the past behind, work together, focus, and get things moving again.
I agree. And there's a lot of animosity in our city right now, and a lot of rumors, a lot of lies, a lot of bullcrap that's going around all over the place. You know, a lot of people contact me and they tell me what they hear, blah, 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 blah. I don't put no stake in it unless, you know, I feel like it's warranted for the city. One thing that I have heard is that it's going around that you're wanting to defund the police. What do you say about that?
I say unbelievable. I have actually reached out to some police officers. I have always supported our cops.
Yes.
I feel like I have a good relationship with the cops. I feel like that we have an amazing chief of police. Jamie is a very good guy. He's an honest guy. And I think he knows, you know, the truth, that I support him. Yeah. I would never want to defund the police. Could you imagine our town if we defunded the police?
No, I could not. It'd be scary.
I feel if anybody deserves anything more, and I've always said this, it is our police officers.
I agree.
They have to have gear. I'm sure there's all kinds of training that they attend.
Yes.
Now, could you imagine not giving your cops that?
No. I mean, here's the thing about police. They are the first line of defense for keeping the civility of our community, keeping us safe. You know, they do a lot that no one sees, too. One thing they do that I know of is building checks, like on my shop. You know, every once in a while we'll come in and there's a little slip on our door that says, you know, we checked your building at 1:02 a.m. on this date. You know, it gives business owners a sense of security knowing that the police are out there, they're looking out for all of us, you know, and, you know, I heard that rumor and I was just like, wait a minute, that needs to be cleared up because from what I know about you, you know, you support cops. So I wanted to bring that out in the open.
Yeah.
First thing, get it out of there.
That made me sick when I heard that.
I bet.
I mean, I was fuming.
No, I would have been pissed.
Mad.
Yes, I would have been too.
I know where it came from. And it's okay.
Yeah.
If they feel okay by telling a lie to try to make them look better, or swayed people to vote one way, that's on them.
And you know, that's the scary thing is it does seem like one side or the other. All these lies and rumors and gossip that's going on in our town. It seems to.
It's terrible.
You know, the citizens of Mountain View are not stupid. They have a brain. They know what to look at. They can think for themselves. They don't need people telling them how to think. I mean,
and I will tell you, I have talked to lots of people from all walks of life that live in Mountain View.
Yeah.
That has connections like business owners, residents, so on and so forth.
Have deep roots in our town.
They are tired of the rumors. You go to a city meeting, you ask questions, you get lied to, and they know you're being lied to, you know. They're sick of it. They are ready for change all the way around.
That's what it's going to take for our town, because, I mean, and I've said this to every guest that's running for council, is when's the last time we've seen something happen in a council meeting that is to further our town? You know, I can't, thinking back, I can't think of it.
No.
You know, and the only way that we're going to get through this and start being a respectable town again is to come together, to mend those bridges that have been broke, to start off on the right foot and leave all this stuff behind. Do you think that's something that can be done?
Yes. I think you have to put aside your personal differences. Yes. You have to work together. And there's a lot of stuff, I think, to straighten out.
A lot.
Like, I don't know what I do. How do I word this? I don't know where the problem has started or what has happened. But I do think it's the job of the new council to come in, go to that problem, and fix it.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, put the egos aside. Put the, gotcha, I'm getting you, you're getting me aside. And let's do something. We have so much untapped potential in this town. And I see it. I feel it. And citizens, like, I've had citizens coming in the shop with great ideas about different things that they want to do to be active in the community, but it discourages them whenever our city government is going in this direction. You know, I mean,
I have heard Mountain View is the laughingstock of Jefferson City.
Yeah.
I have heard that we have been the laughingstock and it's some kind of award ceremony at Lake of the Ozarks. People knew what was going on in Mountain View.
That's sad.
That is sad.
It is. It is.
And I don't understand, how did we get that far?
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Mountain View. This is the worst I have ever seen our town.
The town's lost its way. And it's time that people who care about our town come in and move it in a better direction. Yet again, I'm saying it. I know I probably repeated it ad nauseum throughout all these podcasts, but it's true. Like, if we don't move our town, in my opinion, I feel like it's going to die.
Well, look at our businesses.
Exactly.
What does Mountain View do for our businesses?
And I talked about this with Miss Burton, I think. You know, it seems like, us own the business too, it seems like in the city you are forgotten until it's time they start coming with a handout. Like, hey, we need more money. Can you sponsor this? Can you donate this? Other than that, I mean, the city doesn't talk to business much. And it's just like bids. It would be a respectable thing for the city government to at least allow our local businesses to have a chance at those bids.
They should be the first bids.
Yeah, and if they lose the bid, so be it. But at least you gave that option to them. And to me, it's a respect thing. Why wouldn't you want to support the businesses within your town? I'm not saying they don't as a whole, but
right. But I'm sure there's times that they don't.
Exactly.
And if you have two businesses that are the same,
Bid
you
them
can
both.
rotate that.
Yeah, or bid them both, and whoever wins.
Or 1 month you can do something at this business, the next month you can do something at this business.
Exactly.
But even like your electric.
Yeah.
Can I bring that
yes,
up
let's
on
talk.
here?
Let's talk about this electric.
Okay. Well, I was told by a business person. I learned about this in December when I decided I was going to throw my name in the hat and sign up to run for city council. And this business owner approached me and asked me if I knew that the businesses in Mountain View pay a larger rate than residential.
So
I have no idea. But I do know that the towns around Mountain View, you know, Mountain View wants to compare, we've called West Plains, we've called Willow Springs about your pay, the pay scale and stuff.
Yes.
Well, did they bother to ask, hey, what's your businesses pay? The businesses around Mountain View, their business people pay less than the residential.
Yeah.
Would that help you as a business owner?
It would help a lot. And it would help all these businesses around here. And, that's the thing, and I've talked about this ad nauseum. Why are we not incentivizing businesses? If you're like, if I was a business coming into Mountain View, looking to come into Mountain View, and you're looking at everything, and first thing you see is, why do businesses pay a higher electric rate? That's not going to incentivize anyone to come in.
They're going to go to the next town over.
Or they're going to go right outside the city limits and open up. And then we have, sales tax, that's how Mountain View makes its money.
Yes.
And yeah, I get it. We might make a little bit from the charging the extra for businesses on the electric, whatever. I get it. But what would be more advantageous? Would it be more businesses coming in with a lot more sales tax? Because that could incentivize a lot of different businesses to come in. Or we're just going to be greedy and try to take this electric. Yeah, to me, it's punishing a business for wanting to be in a city.
It's sad. They should want... The more businesses that come in Mountain View, the more money Mountain View will receive.
And it's a ripple effect. Once businesses start coming in, that is more funds for the city to do things. That means more donations for the school. That means more activism within our town. More things we can put on. More festivals, like all this stuff. It's a ripple effect. And if we incentivize and get business growth, then everything else will grow with it.
It'll fall into place.
Exactly. We don't
have that right now.
We don't.
You have businesses that are shutting down. You have businesses that's moving their businesses from Mountain View to West Plains.
And it's scary.
It's scary.
Because
if we don't get control and fix what's broken, we're not going to have anything. We're not going to have a town.
No. And then what happens?
And doesn't the school kind of focuses on our town also?
Yes.
Because they're always looking for teachers.
Yep.
And if you don't have a town, those teachers are not going to want to come teach in a school system that they don't have a town.
Why would they move a family here if they didn't have things to do, grocery shops to shop at, restaurants to eat?
And there's nothing here. The only thing that is here right now for the youth, Abby has the gym on Front Street, and they do like different
like MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing.
Stuff like that. And you have the youth center that's open on Friday nights.
Yes.
That's all we have.
That's all we have. And for youth, the youth center, it's only for up to a certain age. You know, like our 16, 17, 18-year-old
kids. They have
kids.
Nothing.
No, and there's only so many days a week you can go and do like kickboxing or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that's a lot. We talk about the drug epidemic in Mountain View. We talk about the drinking epidemic in Mountain View. We talk about all these bad things that happen in Mountain View. My major question about that is, whenever someone talks about this to me, is what else do they have to do? Where are they preoccupying their time?
Why can't they have? And now I have heard this, and I'm not sure if this is true, but if I get elected, I am going to go find out. I was told that somebody wanted to put in a pool hall with like awesome. Games and stuff like that, and they wasn't allowed to do that.
Really?
If that's true, that is sad.
It is, because why? That's the question, is why wouldn't we want something like that to happen to our town? Because something as little as a pool hall, that's something for the kids to go do.
I know grown men that drive out of town every week to go play pool. Even grown adults.
I love pool.
Yeah. But there's nowhere in Mountain View to do that no more.
Well, when me and my wife, when we want to go eat wings, drink a beer, and go play pool, we have to go to West Plains and go to that like KC Bistro.
Yes.
They have pool tables there. They have darts. And that's where we go. And I've said this a few times on different podcasts. I feel like Mountain View exports its necessities out of our town.
And that's money.
It is.
That's money.
It is. And if we, like you said, if we don't get a rein on that and circulate the business, the money into our town, then how are we going to grow?
And we have one grocery store. And I'm not talking bad about Apple Market, because if we need something, I go there. Yeah. But I can't shop there for all of my needs.
Yeah, because they don't have everything. And that's what competition does, is it brings a variety. It keeps businesses honest. I'm not saying that they're not.
Yes.
But
yes.
it brings a different variety and
But
fresh.
look at food allergies in Mountain View.
Exactly. That alpha-gal, aren't you a victim of that?
I have Affigal, and last year alone, I helped 82 people
Yeah.
in our area. You cannot grocery shop in Mountain View.
No.
Because, they don't carry just a few, plant-based things.
But you don't have a big variety to choose from.
No.
And for people who don't know, alpha-gal, that's a tick-borne illness, correct?
Yep. Supposedly, yes.
Yeah, and it
no mammal.
and it makes you where you can't eat meat, pretty much, red meat.
Yes.
And so, can you eat chicken?
I can eat chicken. I can eat fish. I can eat any kind of bird, and I can eat fish.
Just if it's furry, you can't eat it.
That's right. If it has 4 hooves and nurses off its mother, I can't have it.
Gotcha. And
But that even affects like dairy. I can't
Yeah.
have dairy.
really, because it comes from a cow?
Yes.
Wow.
Before I could have dairy, but
Mhm.
this time around I was in remission for a year.
Then here it comes.
And then I got it about a month and a half ago, and this time I can't have dairy. Okay, well,
Yeah, that sucks.
yeah, every week I have to go to Walmart in West Plains or Springfield.
Mhm.
I'm in Springfield a lot, and that's how I have to grocery shop. So when I go out of town and I'm spending, $250 a week on groceries,
Because your diet's forced you to where you can only eat this certain food.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe if we had a different grocery store like an Aldi's.
Yeah, or another one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying anything between the two grocery stores, maybe I could grocery shop there, but
Yep.
as it is now, I can't.
Because competition is not a bad thing. Collaboration
No.
happens at the top. Competition happens at the bottom. The only
Yes.
people that are scared of competition is if they know they don't have a good business model. And
Yes.
I know we're picking on grocery stores, but that goes for everything. My tire shop, that goes for
dollar
mechanics,
store.
dollar stores. Yes, everything. And
Restaurants.
that's like no business could handle all of the business within a town. It has to be divvied up.
Yes.
And that's what Mountain View needs. It needs more. It needs a variety. It needs new businessmen. It needs new businesswomen. It needs new ideas to come in and reinvigorate our town.
Revamp it.
Yes, into a more positive and new direction.
And that's kind of, most people, they know me.
Mhm.
They know I'm very outspoken.
Yes.
Um,
No, you are not.
I know. I'm so quiet. I'm like that mouse in the corner. I never say anything. But if I know something isn't right, I will fight for that.
Exactly.
I
And you're
will-
not scared to stand up?
No. I mean, even if I've actually, in the past 2 weeks, since words got out because of your podcast
Mhm.
and you've, told who's running,
Yeah.
I can tell you I have 4 people that has come to me that I've not spoke to in years.
Yeah.
We've apologized to each other. They've brought me their concerns.
Mhm.
They hope that I get on.
Mhm.
They want our town, back up and running. And they've brought me ideas.
Yeah.
And they've wished me luck.
Yeah.
I mean, I have talked to more people in the past 4 weeks that I've not spoke to in years.
Yeah. Well,
Put your personal thoughts behind, put your past in the past, and you have to put one foot in front of the other and make it work.
Exactly, and that's what it's going to take, because that's what I keep saying is like the council is the council is made up of 4 people and a mayor. That is 5 people. They cannot do everything themselves.
No.
It takes a community coming together. It takes a community with all these ideas coming out and everyone working together to move our town into a more positive direction.
But when you have somebody, one person who wants to control it all,
that's where the problem is.
that is what
Or it makes it a
everybody is tired of.
Yes.
Because I think, and I'm not picking on the mayor by any means.
But he is under scrutiny right now.
He is
Yes.
under,
A lot.
yes. But I don't know if it was the February meeting or the January meeting. He literally said, if the council didn't like it, he was going to do it anyway, and then he would tell the council or something to that
Yeah.
effect. Do you remember what I'm kind of talking about?
Yeah, I think.
Do you remember? Because I don't want to misspeak and say something.
I remember something along those lines. I remember
he does
people
it
talking
anyway
about it. Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't, because the council is a separate entity. And the council is made up of 4 people with individual mindsets that are looking.
Hang on.
Yeah, you're good.
I got to get a drink.
Okay, yeah, you're good. But the council is made up of 4 people, individual mindsets, and each of them have different ideas. And that's how a council works, is that the council is who controls our town. They talk about it, they argue about it, whatever they got to do, and then they figure out, okay, well, where's the middle ground? Where can we all agree that this would be best for our town and move it forward? And, you know, from the way it looks and from the way that everyone talks, that's not how it's been, and it's concerning.
I kind of feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, and I'm not taking up for anybody, and I'm
Yeah.
not bashing anybody,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
I want to put that straight.
We got to call a spade a spade.
Yes.
Yeah.
And right now, I feel very sorry for the council.
Mm-hmm.
I think the things that have been going on, I feel like this started back in October when they spoke of hiring a city administrator.
That's where the shit show started.
That's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just tell you right now, and I would tell anybody this that confronted me about it, we were given misinformation about the city administrator.
Because that was the audit paper?
The what?
The audit paper that said that we can't afford one or something like that?
No, it was about his pay.
Gotcha.
Like they were saying that
It was going to be like 70 to 90,000 or 70 to 80.
no, it was like 119,000,
okay.
remember?
Yeah.
Because they had to pay like the insurance and the benefits.
Yep.
Okay, well then they got the petition going.
Mm-hmm.
We were fed
Yep.
all kinds of stuff about that. And I was on that wagon.
Mm-hmm.
I believed everything.
I was too, yes.
Until January.
Mm-hmm.
To Miss Judy Coulter was in there for 2 weeks. And she got the truth.
Yes.
As soon as she got that truth, all heck broke loose.
Yes. And
But then we found out that it was not that much money. Not even near that much money. And he didn't even want or need, I'll say need, he didn't even need the insurance or the benefits.
so it would have cut the pay of what a city administrator would have made to a significant, by a significant amount.
And look where we are from October to, this is March.
Yeah.
We are down to 2 city council members.
And yes, that's scary, because how can we run our town? You know?
4. We've been through 4 city council members since November.
Since November. Yeah. We have had, yeah.
Every, so the first one went off in November, then December, then January, and now March.
Yep.
That's scary.
It is, because it's instability of our town.
It's not funny.
No.
Don't sit up there and laugh about it.
Yeah.
And smirk about it, because that's why everybody is against you right now, because they see with their own eyes. I love, and I have heard this so many times, I love that Devin comes down there and he films it. You're live.
Yeah.
So people can see the facts
Exactly.
that are happening that night.
Yep.
They get the
this
cold hard facts.
Yep. And it's what you see is what it is. There's
That's
no
right.
tampering, no messing.
Nope.
It's out there.
It's fresh.
Exactly.
It's happening live.
And I spoke to the mayor after that meeting, and that's why I told him. I said, you know, John, he came up to the shop, and we were talking about whenever he removed, or the state removed is what he said, but I don't know about that until I get that paper. I'm not going to speak on it. But, you know, he said, one thing I did mess up. He said, I did smile, and I did. I said, yeah, you did. I said, that does not look good.
But he does it every meeting.
I know. But
February's meeting.
I said, that's why I told him. I said, it is a serious ordeal whenever a council member is either getting unseated or removed or something like that happens. I said, and the way the citizens took that is like, it was, gotcha. You know, and he said, yeah, I see that. He said, but that's not what it was. I said, I said, whether that's what it was or not, that's what it looked like. And that's all that matters. Image is everything whenever you are in a position of power.
Yes.
That's
like February meeting. I counted. There was 62 members of our community
That's a
sitting
lot of
in
people.
the floor, standing up.
Yep.
They had to go get more chairs.
Yep.
There were still people standing up and sitting in the floor.
And I was so proud to see that many people in our community active.
Me too, but it's like it egged him on.
Yeah.
He still laughed.
Yeah.
He still smirked. And I don't want to keep dwelling on him because that's something that happened in the past and we have to move forward.
Yes,
but
it is,
I'm just saying it does not look good, and that is where everybody is at. Like, they're tired of him and they want new. They want
new.
everybody gone and new people brought in.
Well, I at this point where our town is, that's probably what it's going to take for anything to, one, for citizens to trust a government again.
Yes.
Two, for things to start going back on track. You know, I don't see really any other way.
Me neither, but do you know it's going to take time
Oh, yes.
to build people up to be able to trust a mayor and a board of aldermen.
Yes, because, and that's another thing I hammer on when people come in and talk to me, is Rome was not built in a day.
Correct.
And it is going to, you know, we have one meeting a month. And if we have to have a special meeting, whatever. But we usually have one meeting enough. This is, the fix to all this is going to be a long, drawn-out process. There's only so much that each council meeting can handle. So we're not going to be able, you guys aren't just going to be able to go in and tackle everything in one single meeting.
No.
And until we know exactly where where the new council comes in, and looks at the books, looks at the budget, figures out exactly where our city is.
Yes.
It's probably, it's going to be a slow process.
And it's going to be a hard one.
Yes.
I've been going to city council meetings since September.
And you've been active in the community for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have went to every monthly meeting, every special meeting.
Yep.
So I see what goes on. I see how much trouble we're in. I would say you're not going to be able to fix it within 2 months.
No.
But you know what? It's a start.
It is a start. It is a start.
It's a start.
One step in the right direction is better than what has been happening.
Yes.
And that's like, you know, our city is in very unprecedented territory.
Yes.
You know, at the last meeting, I know John said that there's investigations going on. There's investigations going on with some council members. Like, this is stuff that a city usually don't have to deal with, so it's uncharted territory.
No.
Which is cause for concern as far as mistakes to be made.
Yes.
And it puts the city in a very bad spot.
Another topic I would like to hit on, but not stay on, is our city attorney, Deidre. I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
And when she comes to those city meetings and she walks through that door, my heart literally goes out to her because she is the center of negative right now.
Yeah.
And it's not her fault.
It's not.
No. And she has told in a couple meetings ago, February meeting, I believe, that this is all new to her. She's never had to deal with anything. And this is stuff that they have done. And she has to figure out how to deal with it.
It's uncharted territory.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, and I 2 weeks ago I had an interview with Deidre. I went in, I sat down with her, I was like, give me the skinny, you know, give me what this is, because, you know, she's come under fire recently, and I'm getting ready to put that out. It's just been so busy with, you know, that meeting that Brenda got removed and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
My attention just kind of shifted.
Right.
I've got the monologue done. It's time. I'm just going to record it and release it, hopefully in the next day or two.
Okay.
But people don't realize how much that the city attorney, Deidre Nicholson, does for us. First thing, you know, she gave me documents from back to 2012 when Cantrell, is it Larry Cantrell?
Charles Cantrell.
Yeah, you're right. Charles Cantrell was the city attorney. He was charging $9 an hour. Guess what?
$90 an hour?
$90 an hour.
That's still what she's charging.
Exactly.
Since 2012?
Yes, my prices at the tire shop have went up since then.
She's not changed.
No.
Her charge. And she, you know, now, since February, she is the one that's taking the minutes.
Well, that's what I was just getting ready to say. There's a lot of things that she does for the town for free. The city of Mountain View does not have to pay a retainer, which is usually about $5,000. What a retainer does is it ensures that you're put on a priority list whenever you're needed.
Yes.
Okay, so that's very important to lawyers because that kind of like, okay,
you
they pay.
jump.
Yes.
You jump above everybody else.
Well,
that
guess
doesn't
what?
have a retainer.
The city of Mountain View doesn't pay a retainer, but anytime the city calls, she's there to answer the questions.
Well, from the sounds of how she explained it, she's been having to call the attorney general.
Mm-hmm.
She's been having to call attorneys
And
from
Myrna?
out of this area because nobody from around here has ever dealt with anything
Yes.
the city is going through. Myrma.
Yep.
What's the other couple things? Something with the city like MLF.
I know who you're talking about.
MML, Attorney General, and then there was somebody else that she's had to deal with.
Exactly.
And she said, I've literally had to spend all day on the phone with them.
That's what she told me when Myrna first came down. She said there was, from the time she woke up in the morning, she was on the phone with them. She had enough time to put on pants, get out the door, and she was on the phone from 8 a.m. until she closed. And she's like, I have other clients. The city is supposed to be a part-time job for her.
And it's turned into a full-time.
Exactly. And she's not charging what she should for a full-time
with
client.
overtime.
Exactly. And on top of this, I went looking around at other cities. The average city attorney is getting paid anywhere from $150 to $400 an hour, plus drive time.
Plus, she does court on
one day a
the
month.
third Wednesday of every
Exactly.
month.
So I think it's very, very unfair how.
So we're treating an attorney like complete garbage that is bending over backwards. And you know what? Deidre was actually born and raised in Mountain View.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's what I was. Yeah, that's another point I was getting at. Is guess what? She is still a small business within our community.
Yeah.
She is still a citizen of our community, and she told me this is directly from her mouth. I do it because I love this town. That what happens in the town affects me too, and I do this as a service to my town. She said if I was there to milk the town for money, she said I would like taking minutes, for example. Do you know technically legally she could or should have a paralegal there taking the minutes and then charge half of her hourly rate for that paralegal?
I wondered that actually if that was so. If she brought her paralegal to the city council meeting, wouldn't Mountain View have to pay
Absolutely.
that paralegal?
Yep, half of
Okay,
Deidre's
so
fee.
why are we trash talking Deidre when she is the one that's doing good for our town and trying to figure out what to do?
And providing a service at a cheap cost.
And it points back to one person.
Well, it points back to it points back to directing the problem at the wrong people.
Yes.
And that's where my problem lies with it, is because she still is a business within our community. She is doing a service for our community. I cannot wait to release this monologue. It's taken too long. I know I'm disappointed in myself.
And she's taken a hit, and she keeps doing for us.
Exactly.
Like, she's not letting it stop her.
No.
Like, she is still showing up to the meetings.
Yeah.
She's still making those phone calls.
Do you know there is no city attorney that shows up to all the meetings? Like, most city attorneys refuse to be at the meetings.
Yeah,
That's
but now
not their job.
Nobody wants to sit on that council without a city attorney being there because of everything that.
But that's the thing. The city attorney isn't there to protect any of them. She is there to protect the city. And I've know people have said, well, she only tells them one time how to make a motion. To protect the city, that's all she has to do. Once she tells them once, it becomes a personal reliability on them.
She's not a teacher.
Exactly. And she's not a babysitter.
And they're grown adults,
Yes.
not children.
Exactly. And see, this is my whole point is the grown-ups need to take responsibility for their own actions instead of diverting the blame to others.
Yeah. And that's what's happening.
Exactly.
I mean, if she tells you something, have a notebook and a pen to write you a note.
Yes. Wouldn't that be the smart thing to do?
I don't know. I'm just going to tell you, if I make it to council, this is the first time I've ever done it.
Yeah.
But there are classes.
Yes. Are you going to take the classes?
Absolutely, because what I've been told, there is actually quite a few classes.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you what you can and can't do, and you take their question, you take your questions to them, and they'll tell you, you know, right or wrong. But why should she have to sit there at every single meeting and say, hey, remember I told you last time?
Exactly.
Can't do that.
Exactly. I mean,
no.
Like when I was in the military, my supervisor told me one time to do something, I knew not to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Any workers in Mountain View, if their boss tells them to do something, they don't do it again. I'm not saying that Deidre's the boss, but she is providing the legal the legal way of doing things.
So does Deidre work for the city of Mountain View? Does she work for the mayor, or does she work for the board of aldermen?
She works for the city of Mountain View as a whole entity. So she is not there to protect council. She is not there to protect mayor. She is not there to protect clerk. She's not there to protect anyone except for the city of Mountain View,
Missouri.
Yes. And like, I know the charges with the text messages. Well, I got them. I've got all the charges that have been given because of text messages from council members. You know how they were all highlighted at the meeting?
There was like 6.
Okay. I've got documentation from back to 2011, 2012 that it is not uncommon to charge for text messages or phone calls with councilmen. This is something that is done at in almost every billing cycle. There's charges on there that the mayor called. You know, in the recent
it wasn't just the city council.
Exactly.
But that's what got it told at
exactly.
the meeting. Oh, this is it.
And, you know, Deidre was very hurt by how it was portrayed. You know,
I'm sure.
No one went to her. No one asked her the questions. No one, you know, she could have charged for my meeting with her. She could have charged the city for
she should have
2 hours, but she didn't. You know, because she felt like that was her civic duty to clear the air on what she does.
But that could hurt her business.
Exactly.
Being an attorney.
Exactly.
And you have all this bad information out there that is destroying her as a attorney.
Yet again, we're hurting one of our own businesses in Mountain View.
Yeah.
You know, and cool. She's a human being. She might mess up every once in a while, but so does everyone else. So does the council. So does the mayor. So does everyone. We cannot hold people to a perfect standard because perfect does not exist in our world.
Right.
But
if it did, we wouldn't be where we are now. We wouldn't be in the mess.
Exactly. And I think there's a lot of heat on her that is very unwarranted because actually sitting down with her and speaking with her, seeing the documentation, going through the law, going through Sunshine Law with her, I gained a higher level of respect for Deidre than I ever have in my life because now I see what she does for our community and what she does for our town just to keep it running.
And you need to put that out there for people to see. I mean, I don't know anything about an attorney, but I know their job isn't easy. I know their job consumes a lot of time.
You are paying them for what they know.
Yeah.
They are providing the service of, okay, I'm going to tell you what you can and can't get in trouble for. That way you don't do it. That is a pretty valuable thing to have. And considering she's charging the same price as she charged back in 2000, or what Cantrell charged back in 2012, hasn't raised her prices.
That's saying something.
That means her heart's in the right place. She
and
cares.
You know what? She could literally charge way more just for them doing this, but you know what? Exactly. I guarantee you she won't.
She won't. And she even said she encourages the city to go out, look for bids, see if they can get it cheaper somewhere. And she said, if my time comes where it's time to part ways with the city, she said, that's fine. She said, it would alleviate a lot of stress off me.
I'm sure.
But she does it because she cares.
But Mountain View would be paying way more.
Exactly.
And get less work.
Exactly, because we have no attorneys in Mountain View.
Because no other attorney would come do it for free.
No, and they would charge a 2024 rate of at least $150
not 2012.
But on top of that, I guarantee you there would be a retainer charge on top of that with how the city's been. So, you know, we're talking thousands.
And how many calls does she get that she doesn't charge for?
Every citizen that calls her, she hardly ever charges for citizens calling and asking questions. She does a lot, and it really opened my eyes. And it's sad that she's got the heat put on her.
Encourage people in our city limits to do is vote. I think this is the year that's most important for people to come out and vote. And I've heard lots of rumors.
I agree. Me too.
That the board is trying to be stacked. I don't like that.
Me neither. Everyone should have an independent mind.
Yes, and that's scary.
It is scary.
I feel if I moved to Springfield, I wouldn't go sign up for city council.
No.
I have no idea how anything is run in Springfield.
Yep.
I don't have a connection with the people.
Yep. It's not your home.
It's not my home. My heart isn't there. I'm not saying that people that move in Mountain View, I mean, there's people that's lived there for 20 years or, 30 years or whatever. I'm not saying you shouldn't, whatever. But I find it weird when the mayor is trying to tell people how to vote. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. Well, it puts a bad taste in people's mouths. It
Yes.
really does. And that's the whole thing, is how you portray everything is everything within a city. And if you're in a position of power, whether it be council or mayor or whatever, then you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. And, you have to sometimes just take politics out of it, and just be a citizen.
You need to put your heart in it.
Put your heart in it, yes. And I think it's time for the council, for the mayor, for everyone to come together and start moving this town in a better direction.
And there needs to be communication.
I agree.
Something that I want to do if I get elected for Eastside Alderman is City Council is the second Tuesday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to pick somewhere the first Tuesday of the month, whether it be, at 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be at Roscoe Teas for an hour and a half. So if any citizens, any business owners, anybody comes to me with a problem or an idea,
Mm-hmm.
that is something that I could take to the board and work on fixing it.
Yeah, and voice it for them.
Yes. You have to have, right now, there is no communication.
I agree.
There was a meeting, I believe it was in January, when all of this stuff was coming out about the books not being balanced and the city council isn't getting everything that they're supposed to in their packets,
Mm-hmm.
A, B, C, D. It was said by the mayor, well, we need to be talking about this behind closed doors. No. This is our city.
Yes.
You work for us. We elected you. We elected the board. You work for us.
Yes.
Why are we being shut out of stuff that we should know about?
And that's the thing. If it doesn't have to be in closed session, it should not be in closed session.
No.
And
there is way too many closed sessions.
way too many.
Every single meeting.
And I asked John about that. He said that the council has been calling the closed sessions. I do not know about that.
I do not believe that.
He said that he's only called one closed session. I don't know if it was through his time as mayor or just this year or whatever, but he said he's only called one and the rest have been by the council.
I'd have to have.
Me too.
Where we are right now with the city, I would have to see black and white that it came from a alderman. I don't believe that.
Yeah, and that's what I would like to see is document. That's just like,
I guess, hang on.
Yeah.
I have to guess. I guess the closed session that he called is when he compelled them to the back.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because that's another thing that just did not look good on the city.
No.
Whether legal or not, was it the right thing?
Was it legal? Was it right? Maybe. But how would he like it if somebody come and got him and set him in a room and made him stay there?
Exactly.
Would he be chuckling about it?
No.
Would he be smiling and laughing and cracking jokes?
If someone tried to do that to me, they would have to arrest me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bullheaded son of a bitch. And
that's when people...
I think y'all know that, but I am. I'm a bullheaded son of a bitch, and I just...
Oh, if he ever done that to me, they would literally have to handcuff me.
Yeah.
And I would tell my family...
Yeah.
You know who to call.
Yeah.
At that point, when he done that, people were fed up
Yes.
about what was going on in Mountain View.
Yes.
But when he done that, people are done.
Yeah.
People want I don't know if I can say this on here, but I'm just going to say it. And if not, you can remove it or do what you want to do with it. I have had so many people Facebook me, text me, show up at my house, catch me in Walmart, catch me at the gas station. Like they are ready to start a recall on our mayor.
Yeah.
Like they are done.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah. And
that's bad.
And honestly, and it's sad, but that is the public sentiment right
yes.
now. And, maybe it can be fixed. I don't know. But, I mean, the thing is, like you said, it's in the past. Whatever happens, like for election and stuff, now is the time to move forward and fix because now I feel like Mountain View is in do or die mode. It needs to be fixed. We're
either going to have to fix it or our town's going to die more. People are going to start leaving.
Yeah.
People don't even want to move here.
I know. I had a realtor tell me that she's having trouble selling a house in Mountain View.
Yep. I don't know if it was the same realtor. I'm not going to say any names. But I'm pretty close to this realtor, and she told me that when somebody contacts her about buying property, because she can sell anywhere in Missouri or whatever, she'll say, what's the one place you don't want to be? Right now, it's Mountain View.
Yes, and that sucks for our town.
Yes.
But anyway, now that we got through all the the nitty-gritty, because we had to speak on it. Yes. You know, I've talked with everyone, and I want to make this clear, guys. I am not trying to pick on the mayor, okay? Like, I love John as a person. You know, I've known him since I was a kid. Like, as a person, I think there's been a lot of wrong choices made. And I think it's time for a change. You know, it's a time for a change, you know, and I'm not picking on him because these are real criticisms going on in our town right now. But with that being said, Vicki,
yes.
What are some things that you plan to do to move our town into a better direction?
Well, one thing is I would like to see what's wrong. Yes. Does there.
That start with the budget?
That, I believe, starts with the budget because I think we're all lost on the budget.
Yeah.
I've not seen the budget. I've just heard about the budget and how bad it's off. So I think has to be the main thing that you fix is the budget. I also feel that every single employee should be treated equally.
Yes.
That is a big thing of mine. You have all of these employees, and you can't put this one here and this one here. They need to, like, you need to come together and work together.
And they're all employees. They should. And
I don't care if they're trash men, if they're a street guy, if they're a water guy. If they're good employees, they're good employees.
Exactly. And we need to keep our good employees.
Yes.
And that's like, you know, like with the raises, there's been a lot of controversy on the raises and stuff.
So
and
much.
Me personally, I think that our city workers need raises.
Yes.
The whole controversy is, you know, how it was done, which I've already spoke on that, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, it's like, because people speak about how the raises doesn't mean we don't want raises. You know what I mean?
Correct.
It's just we want it done the right way.
You got to pay your people.
Exactly.
I mean, nobody's going to come to work for you for $5.
Exactly.
But you can't start this guy out at 40 cents and start this guy out at $5.
Exactly.
Like, that's going to cause lots of problems. Well, yeah, because I know the general rule is you don't talk about your pay.
Exactly.
But, you know, people talk about their pay.
Exactly. And
that needs fixed.
Well, like, I went and looked at Willow Springs' raise system, or their pay scale.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Basically, what they do you know what a GS is, like, for federal employees?
No.
Okay, it's called government servant, and they start you out from GS 01 all the way out up to, I think, GS 09, I think, is the highest. And they have a list of jobs in GS 01, 2, 3, 4, and each gets paid more on this table. And depending on what your job is, where you rank on this GS pay scale, it's kind of like a rank.
Oh, okay.
And so
like,
they have this list. If you're a chief of police, you're going to be, and in Willow it's called a WS instead of a GS, you know, because it's Willow Springs Servant. But like, take chief of police as an example. A chief of police would probably be I'm going to use Willow, a WS05, I think is what it was, 5 or 6. So anyone in the WS05 gets paid the same amount, or right around the same amount, depending on job. And then to make more, you have to be a WS07, 8, or 9. And so everyone knows where they stand within the pay scale because it's laid out in black and white. The jobs that fall within those pay scales are already in there. You can look at them, and, like, say a job for a librarian comes open. Well, you grab the city pay scale. You're like, oh, that's a WS04. You go over here. You look, oh, WS04s make this much in Willow, so that's how much you make. You know, it's very efficient.
Well, do you know how they gave the pay raises that they just gave?
No, I do not. Oh, who, Willow?
No,
Mountain View. I've talked to several people on that subject, and I haven't got a clear answer as far as how they pick the raises.
Because I've seen them.
Yes.
And I've seen, there's a guy, I won't even tell what year that he's been there, whatever. But he got just a few cents. And then somebody that has just got hired, like maybe 2 years.
Which I did hear, and I went and asked him, is that he didn't want it on that one.
I don't think we're talking about the same one.
Okay, probably not.
But I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that is true.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too specific because you never know what's murky water.
But I'm just saying, from what I've heard, some of them did not even get.
And what that causes is, traditionally, when Mountain View raises were made, it was voted on by a council and it was a percentile raise. With the raise in Mountain View, it used to be a percentile. So, like, the council would vote on it and everyone would get like a 3% raise. It keeps it pretty. And I've asked around, and maybe eventually we'll get an answer on how the raises were done. But as of yet, I still don't know. You know what I mean? But
the council, just to clarify that.
Yes.
Because it was told in the meeting.
Okay.
The council members did not give those raises.
There you go. Sorry.
And they did not vote on those raises.
Exactly. I knew that.
Yeah.
And, John said in the meeting that that he told me it was the pay scale that was made by the clerk, the operation manager, and the mayor. But I still haven't got an answer on a definite answer on how the raises were given as far as did it fall to the heads of that department to give out? I just haven't had an answer on it.
And what do you do to correct that? Because I do know that has caused lots of problems with the workers.
And you're messing with their life. That's their pay, that's their life, and they deserve money and they deserve raises. And it sucks that they're stuck in the middle of this but this is a question within the community, and that's a topic, But I do feel really bad for all the city workers that are caught in the middle of this.
It's sad.
Yeah, it is.
And that's something that I also would like to, if I get on council, that's something that I would like to speak with the workers to see what they want.
Yeah.
What do they need? What do they want? How are their feelings? Because what? Those city workers, I mean, I know you got the city hall people that's sitting in the offices and running it. But you got the workers that are actually out there doing the legwork, so their thoughts and their feelings should matter a lot.
Exactly. I agree.
So I guess the answer to your question is you're going to have to pick something.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to work on that and try to make it better. And you're going to have to go to the next thing and work on it and try to make it better.
Exactly. That's all we can do. But, I do want to say this. Like, my heart is out to all the employees that are having to deal with this stuff.
Yes.
Like, they've been promised raises at this point. What do you do? What's fair to them? They need money. They do deserve raises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hope they get their raises.
And that's where having a good mayor and a set of 4 people that will work together for the city workers, that's where that's important that comes in, is having people that will work together and take care of their workers.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on a city administrator?
Is this a trick question?
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding. Well, the city administrator is all over the board.
Yes.
Some people are for it. Some people are against it. But I think every city, most cities have a city administrator.
Yes.
And I think if we had a city administrator, we wouldn't be where we are today. So if that means hiring a city administrator,
that's what we need to do,
is going to save us from ending up where we are today, I think that's what needs to be looked at.
I agree. It needs to be looked at.
We get elected in April.
Yeah, next month.
I'm not saying April's
Exactly.
whenever you get sworn in or whatever, that you hire a city administrator.
Take the time to do it right.
You may have to wait 3 months, and you may have to get things lined out and see, because right now I don't think anybody knows what kind of money Mountain View has.
Yes. Yep.
From my understanding, the books haven't been balanced for a long time.
Yeah.
So who knows what you're working with?
Exactly.
So you don't want to jump into anything.
No.
feet
Finances first, right?
Um,
You look at the budget, you see where the money's at, then you kind of have to go from there.
yeah. But if a city administrator is what Mountain View needs, that is what Mountain View needs.
And I agree. And I think a lot of people within our community agree. I went through and I talked to all the business owners in Mountain View, or most of them that I could find or get a hold of. And all of them agree that, a city administrator is something our town desperately needs. Because what does a city administrator do? It promotes growth.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, that's what it does. It promotes growth, new ideas coming in, new projects. Like Willow has a rock star of a city administrator, and look at how Willow's growing.
Oh, the lady?
Yes, Miss
Yes,
Hicks. She's
I
awesome.
have heard so many good things about her.
She does, and that's what happens when you get that right person, the one that cares, that's doing it for the right reasons, and where our town has the potential. Our town could just boom, but it's taken the shackles of all this ego, nepotism, me, and taking these shackles off, breaking free, and just shooting our town in the correct direction.
And you know what? I hate to say it, but Mountain View has always had men to run it.
Yes.
Except in the past, I think
3.
Judy Coulter was the very first female
Okay.
that had sat on the board.
Okay.
And then Brenda. Now, I could be wrong.
And Laura.
But,
Laura was on there at one point.
oh, yeah, Laura was on there. I think she was on there maybe with Judy or after Judy.
I think with Judy.
So 3 women have sat on that board.
Yes.
If we need a female city administrator, maybe that's the direction we need to take.
Well, it should. Exactly. Like, if the female is the more qualified one, then why not?
I think it would be neat. Now, I'm not saying Mountain View to be used as a guinea pig, so don't mistake me on that. But I think it would be neat to see an all-female board or a female mayor or a female administration.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we need.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to put it in a bag and shake it up and change things
Exactly.
to see something. I don't know.
Exactly. No, I agree with you.
What are you laughing at?
I'm sorry. My producer over there, she's...
I love it.
Yeah, she's on board with you is what it is.
Well,
It made me laugh.
I'm serious.
No, but you're right. And that's the thing. Like, and these small towns, they take a long time to change their mindset.
Yes.
We know this. But it is time. Like, if there are 4 females up there, who cares? They can do the job just as good as us men can. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not picking on you guys.
Yeah, whatever. I feel.
But
No.
Look what century we're in.
Exactly.
Change it up.
Exactly. No, I agree.
So I say let's give it a shot.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if they're the most qualified, let them. And I agree.
Yeah.
Vicki, this has been a pleasure. I've had a good talk with you. Is there anything you want to talk about your campaign before we leave?
I just hope that the Eastside residents will give me a chance to try to help make Mountain View great again.
Yeah. Well, I think your heart's in the right place, and you care, and
I'm outspoken.
You are outspoken, and you're loud, and I think you have a backbone.
Even if you don't care for me,
Yep.
Get a hold of me and tell me what is wrong. Tell me what you want to see, and I will help fight for you.
Yep.
I promise.
Yep. And
we got to do something or our town's going to die.
Exactly. And it's time for us all to come together. East, west, north, south side, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all Mountain View, and it's time for us to grow, to change. One last thing before we go.
Okay.
Breaking news in Mountain View, Missouri. We have had a write-in candidate I saw for the mayor position. Her name is... What's her name?
Sherry McCann.
Sherry McCann. That actually, I just saw that on Facebook right before this interview. How do you feel about that?
I love it. Do you know Sherry?
I do not.
I know Sherry. Sherry is a great, honest person.
Yeah. Okay.
she would be good.
Okay.
I hope our locals support her. They're sick of what's going on now. She is a very good, hard-working lady, and she is very fair.
That's awesome.
And she, too, will go above and beyond.
Okay. Well, guys, the election's April 2nd. Now we have a write-in candidate against the mayor position, so there is an option if you so choose. To be able to do that, you have to fill in the bubble and write it on the ballot. And you'll have to spell the name correctly and all that, right? Because it is. And
yes.
Yeah. Guys, this has been Dev Talks Podcast. This has been me sitting down with Eastside candidate, right? Eastside?
1 year seat.
1 year seat, Vicki Carr. And cheers.